All right, here we are looking at product rules or exponent rules today. We're going to look at two particular. We're going to look at the product and the quotient rule today. So this is just, again, making sure that we understand how to simplify things with exponents in them as we go along here. So if I look at this following here, I'm going to want to simplify this. This is, again, our product rule. Product rule is whenever we have something or two objects that are multiplying to each other. So when we have those two things multiplying to each other, we're going to take the coefficients first. So my coefficients on this first one are the 2 and the negative 2. I'm just going to multiply those together. So 2 times negative 2 gives me negative 4. And then I'm going to take my variables. I've got x and I have y. And what I have to do, the exponent that comes with those, because my product rule, because it's multiplying, I have to add them. So this is just x to the first, x to the fourth, I add those, which puts x to the fifth here. And then because I only have this is y to the second. So that is simplified all the way. Again, we're not solving anything, we're just simplifying it here. So if I look at the second example, again, I multiply my coefficients, 1 times 4, which just gives me 4. And then I have x to the 4 and 2, which will give me 6. And then y, I've got 3 and 1, which will give me 4 total. So these should go pretty quick. If I have multiple things, I just do every single one. So for my coefficients, I have 4, 4, and 1. I multiply those all together. Again, multiply coefficients, add exponents. So 4 times 1, that gives me 16. Then I have x to the third, x to the third, x to the third. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. And then I have y first, third, and fourth. So 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 4 is 8. So that would be my final simplified answer. We're just trying to make sure we simplify these all the way, is what we're looking at doing here. That's my quotient rule, or product rule. My quotient rule is when I'm dividing here. And when you divide, you actually subtract. I actually like to think of it, instead of subtracting, I like to think of it as like we're battling here. Okay, it's like a war. You've got your battle line here. You've got the army up north and the army below, or army above and army below, whatever you want to call here. And so remember, m to the third in these wars, they actually just line up. M to the third is m times m times m. And then down below, I have m times m. And then I have these n's. N, and then N. So they actually show what they have in their army here. And I have to say negative 2. And then what we're going to do is it's really a 1 for 1. So these two line up each other and they shoot at the same time or whatever, and they both die. Boom, boom, gone. Boom, boom, gone. Okay? Here I've got my N's. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. So this M doesn't have anybody to fight with, so it survives, and this N doesn't have anybody to fight with, so it survives. So when it's all said and done, I have an M, N in the numerator, and then I have this negative 2 in the denominator. If there was another coefficient, I would actually just divide those like normal if there was one there. Okay? So I like to think of it as battle. They just line up from each other and go. I don't usually draw this all out like this. All I really do is go like so. I draw my line here and I say, okay, I've got x and x. They're both gone. And then I have this y to the fourth, so that's going to be right here. And then I've got this 2 divided by 4, which 2 divided by 4 is 1/2. And then I have the negative out here. So, and usually a lot of times we don't actually draw the 1 or write that 1 very often. We'll actually just go negative y to the fourth all over 2 would be what I would go for right there. Again, just a quick reminder. Let's say I had 4. Let's just do another one here. Again, those are the answers to those two. Let's say I had 4x to the fifth, y to the third, all over 6x to the second, y to the sixth. Again, for this one, when I go to simplify, I can simplify the 4 over 6, or 4 over 6, which simplifies to 2/3. And then I just battle. I've got 5 and 2. 5 is bigger than 2, so all these are going to be gone. 2 of these are going to be gone, so that'll be x to the third in the numerator. And then I have my y to the third, y to the sixth. All 3 of those are gone, and 3 of the 6 here are gone, so that means I have y to the third as well down here. So, okay. Last thing with product and quotient rule is this here. Sometimes we're going to look at having both of them together. So if you guys notice in the numerator, I've got the product rule, but then I have division. When that's the case, I'm going to take care of my product rule first. So I'm going to take care of this, just the numerator first, which just will give me 4x to the second, y to the third. Now I'm going to use that instead of this business when I go to divide here. So when I go to divide, I've got, obviously still have this negative out here. 4 divided by 2, which is just 2, so that 2 goes in the numerator because it's 2 over 1. And then I've got 2 x's up here and 3 down below, which means all of those go away and all but 1 from the denominator, so x to the first here. And then for my y's, this y goes away and one of those goes away, so it's y to the second. So once I get my y's and my x's together, that'll be it. So negative 2y to the second over x. Okay, and so another example, again, I'm going to take care of this product rule in the denominator. So negative times 3, which gives me negative 3, x to the 7th, and then y to the 5th, because y and y. So I'm not using that anymore. And then I just go and divide. So I draw my battle lines. I've got 4 over negative 3, which that doesn't simplify any, so I just leave those. I'm going to battle my x's. I have 2 and 7. 7's bigger than 2 by 5, so that'll be x to the 5th in the denominator because 7's more up here. Those all go away. I have y over y to the 5th, so obviously 5 is more than 1 by 4, so that would be y to the 4th in the denominator. And bada bing, bada boom. That's your product and your quotient rule. Math moment with Mummy out.